and salutations, my fellow robot masters. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by the boy.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. Today we're grading movie homework again.
Yes, indeed. We've moved on to the year 2015.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say 2050, and I'm like, my God, I haven't been there yet.
That's okay.
How long did the Marvel movies go?
To give a quick recap of the premise of this particular thing and the thing we're reviewing, every year since 2012 on his part and 2013 on mine, White and I have placed every movie we have watched into a folder on our social media with a picture, one of our favorite quotes, and, the title of the movie. We have now decided to go back and do quick little snippet reviews of all the movies we have watched since 2012 on his part and 2013 on mine. We're on 2015 for both of us now. There you go, that's the summary.
We don't watch wrestling much anymore, so we don't review it.
Sorry. No, I'm not actually.
I like wrestling. I'm so glad you're drinking right now and can't respond. And it pains me that I don't get to watch it as much as I would like, but WWE is a crap sack garbage hole that only gets worse every time I hear news about them.
And AEW is, for some reason, just sort of difficult for me to remember to watch.
I don't know, it's been so long since we watched a weekly show.
I think that's it.
It is a lot of it, and we don't have their non-existent network, so.
Yeah.
But if you guys like wrestling, you can check them out. Or Impact.
Maybe just stick with AEW.
I've heard actually Impact's doing well, but they're on Twitch, so you can see them there. So that's
cool.
Yeah.
Well, that is something in their favor.
All right, well, we start, as we will for the foreseeable future, up until this godforsaken year, with a movie we watch every New Year's Eve.
And will next year, so as to hopefully cleanse the world of the curse we brought upon it by not watching it.
I feel as though we have taken the slab. I don't fully understand that reference, but I see it on the Tumblr a lot.
So.
Angry off-brand Joker wishes the return of the slab.
I'm just going to move right along. Number one is Saint Young Men from 2013. My quote for this one was, "Great idea."
My quote was, "Whatever, I'll walk." We talked about this movie more when we first started watching it. And guys, if you don't keep watching our podcast, how will you know all of our cool jokes? Just like and thumbs up and subscribe. Ring that bell if you like to be bothered constantly. Well, once a week. Comment in the comment section about your favorite hair color.
Here's a fun little thing for you to go back and listen for. Ever since White actually finally called it out, I've stopped doing my little sing-along bit.
Also, he can't do it as much anymore because I changed what I say. So
that wouldn't stop me.
No, it didn't actually. Let's give you the next one as well. Ew. Did I watch that garbage?
No.
No, of course not. I have taste.
Number two, the second movie I watched in 2015 was also a movie from 2013, Frozen. My quote was, "I'm going to tell him, don't you dare." So, I actually have a little blurb underneath this. I'm not going to read it verbatim. Essentially, Frozen came out in 2013. For the entirety of however long Frozen was out in 2013 and 2014, I managed to avoid hearing Let It Go. It was a humongous phenomenon. It was everywhere in social media, and I just really didn't want to be bothered by it. It started out sort of randomly, but eventually became kind of a point of pride that I had managed to avoid this entirely having taken over society song. So I decided I wanted to see it in the movie, in the context in which it is intended. So I decided to finally watch the movie, and what did they say? Yeah. Having done so, I can state with conviction that it was not bad. Someone else, who is on my social media, asked, "Do you mean the movie or the song?" And I said, both. And I hold to that opinion today. Frozen is not a bad film. It's a fine film. It has a nice message. Olaf is not nearly as annoying as White hyped him up to be before I watched the movie.
This film vexes me.
And that song is good. It's a little better in like, I think it's Norwegian I really like it in, just because the lyrics they sound better. But it's a fine song. It's not really my anthem the way it was for so many people, but
it was in a popular movie and children liked it. I worked in retail, so I heard it a lot. We've been stuck on this image, which y'all can't see because I don't edit this podcast. Unless we have like dropped sound files or something, then yes, I edit the podcast. But first of all, Elsa's dress here, very sparkly, very pretty. That's some really great fabric and transparency going on. Also, this bitch on the left, her nose, heavens. Like, everybody else looks fairly realistic, except for these two people right there who must be fucking related.
I mean, yeah, it's a big nose.
Jeez, like...
He's not talking about Anna, for the record.
It's like a dagger.
It's just drawing to the eye. What was the second movie you watched?
The second movie I watched was... the sequel movie to My Little Pony Equestria Girls, Rainbow Rocks. Please do not drop the microphones, which I believe was in response to a mic drop.
That's a good line to pick.
Yeah, it was cute. I think I liked it about as much as the first one. I'm so... This is something I discovered recently, like, as in general. When I stopped being interested in this series, I just kind of stopped being interested in children's series altogether.
It was probably the point at which you had reached saturation on tropes that are almost universal in children's cartoons.
Oh, and the concessions that, writers have to make for a children's cartoon. And I don't mean like, man, someone sure should have been bloodily decapitated in this scene.
No, you mean like certain ways they have to explain things and certain ways they have to approach things, not to pander to children, but because, well, to be blunt, kids are fucking stupid. They don't know things.
Well, and also, it's not like they're sitting down to watch this on Netflix from beginning to end. You kind of have to reintroduce some concepts, and my biggest pet peeve is character growth resets.
Honestly, I think that might be an interesting thought. An actual children's program designed for Netflix, or designed for binge watching, the way a lot of Netflix's stuff is. Because I think a big part of that is the weekly nature of most children's programming. Because having gone back and tried to watch Avatar again, some of it kind of grates. Because
when you showed it to me,
have to keep relearning the same lesson because it's a weekly show.
Sure. Well, and also you've got reruns. So like the old comic book adage is truer than perhaps usual. Every episode is someone's first.
So in every episode, you have to have a moment where you establish Sokka is, whatever character flaw Sokka is going through at the time. There's a couple different ones throughout the series.
There's a couple of shows on Netflix that are children's shows and range from the spectrum of preschool to, adult-ish. I'd say like She-Ra, for example, is. Yeah,
because that came out on like Netflix or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's just a Netflix exclusive.
That might be a good experiment to watch to see if they manage to avoid that pitfall, because it bothers me as well.
I need to give it another shot because I was turned off by some of the voice acting. It's not bad. It's just not sounds I want to hear, which is rare for someone to hear about me.
No, you can be a little choosy about voice acting specifically.
You know what? You might be right there.
It's stuff with like there's a certain level of vocal fry beyond which you're out.
This isn't vocal fry. This is vocal softness.
Oh, well, that is new.
Yeah, wild and interesting. Let's move on to the boys. Well, we've got dates here. Let's see the catch up. Okay. All right. Oh, good. We watched this one together.
Yep. Number 3, The Hobbit: The Battle of Five Armies. If you ever pass through Bag End, tea is at 4. You are welcome any time. Don't bother knocking.
I chose. Yes. I don't even remember the context of this shit.
No, I think you intentionally chose something you wouldn't remember. But to be fair, you did say in the comments to this you didn't regret spending $5 on it.
Yes, $5. I think hindsight paints this movie less pleasantly, because what sticks out in my mind is the stuff that sucked, because there was nothing about this movie that was so great as to stand above those shoulders of the stupid shit. So, you know, here, 6 years later, I remember fucking Gold and all that dumb shit.
I remember the dental plan scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. I remember that. And I remember literally the quote I picked for Bilbo because I like it. And there was a big fight. Oh, and I remember that Legolas ran up a falling rocks, and that made me laugh uproariously in the theater. That may have been in the movie before this. They kind of blur together.
Yeah. The first.
Why was this 3 movies? Why was The Hobbit
because
3
that's
movies?
how you make money, man.
No, it's not.
That's what executives think. They see numbers and they want them to go up, dude.
Look, I could see... Well, The Hobbit is a very simple book, but I could see 2 movies. You do A Hobbit's Tale, you know, and then you get to like, Lake Town. And then that's a second movie where you do all that shit and Smaug, and you show the battle, because Bilbo's asleep, but we're not. We're the audience. Show us the battle. And then you move along. Like, it's 3 is just, it makes it feel thin, like butter spread over too much bread.
We did a full review on this. You can find it on the channel somewhere. Probably.
Maybe not.
I removed a bunch of old videos. I mean, they're not like gone. They're just hidden. That were like... I had personal reasons for moving them, but...
Didn't know that.
Yeah. It's nothing like crazy, but... And I don't think this was one of them, but in case you can't find it, you're not going crazy.
Moving right along.
Moving swiftly along. Whoops. There we go. I have a bunch of other tabs open. Let's see, that's January 25th for you. That's January 7th for me, so...
You got some catching up to do.
I got some catching up to do. I watched the Dark Dungeons movie. Mistress Frost, I use magic missile to attack the darkness. God, how to begin explaining this shit for somebody who doesn't know?
Well, I don't know. And secondarily, in this movie, does the DM require them to refer to her as Mistress Frost? Because if fucking so, if that's allowed, you best believe y'all gonna be referring to me by some wacky fucking nicknames from here on out.
So a long time ago,
go ahead.
A man named Jack Chick wrote religious
that's
pamphlets.
What this is. That's what this is. Okay.
That
all right.
were typically very tone deaf and very strawman-y and ridiculous.
This is Blackleaf.
Yes.
Okay.
I love them. I collect them. I find them hilariously absurd. They were a part of my childhood, and I don't know. There's something about them that just fills me with glee. One of them, perhaps the most infamous, is titled Dark Dungeons. And it is about the evils of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh man, the chick track is amazing. It's a trip, man. It is a trip through a bent mind, and I forgot that that's what this movie was, because Dark Dungeons is not a terribly descript name. So it is the Dark Dungeons. That's neat.
The people who made this movie, I don't know if it's because they had to or if it was just part of their marketing ploy, were in character as anti-Dungeons and Dragons people the whole time, and still are today. I saw a new social media post from them recently that shared some meme image and were like, they're still out there trying to take our children into their dark clutches. But, like, they're not actually like that, though. Like, you can tell the amount of love and reference in this movie is mwah.
Nobody has those dice and that dungeon tile set if they hate the game.
Yeah. And there's a lot of very specific references they make. They reference Zycon, of all people.
Wow.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, sorry. Y'all like Dungeons and
It's
Dragons.
like $5 or $10 through their website. I would recommend it. It's funny and stupid.
I mean, I might actually watch it.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
I forgot that.
I used to have a license to this movie. I'd just give it to you, but I lost it when I changed computers. So.
It's $5.
Yeah, who cares? Support people. Support independent artists and filmmakers. Hey, this is a great time to mention that in the comments section, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Or, if you don't like monthly payments of about $5, you can go buy all of my books. That way you actually get something out of our, financial exchange here. And every dollar you give helps to support me eating a food.
Sorry, I just had an image in my head of if you edited the podcast and you had like a badly cropped Jay Sherman that you bounced back and forth as that speech was going on.
Buy my book. Buy my book. Working on another one, kids. It's good shit.
They are genuinely
Where are
good
we?
books.
Where are we at here? So I'm still catching up.
Okay.
I sort of watched Cars 2 out of the corner of my eye. This doesn't really have anything to do with Lightning McQueen.
No, as I understand it, it's the story of Mater becoming a secret agent.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as you'd think.
No, I don't believe you.
Neither did I, until I watched it out of the corner of my eye at my dad's house.
Fair enough.
Anyhow, quote, P.S. Please tell the hotel I didn't mean to order that movie. I thought it was just a preview and I didn't realize I was paying for it.
Did Mater order pornography?
I believe it was Mater, yes. It's been...
Did Mater order car porn?
It's like
Tailpipe Stuffers 4?
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh no! Now the video from Southland Tales is in my head.
You're welcome. Anyway, I thought this was kind of neat. It's not that I would ever like sit down to watch again, but if someone had it on in a home, I wouldn't run screaming from that home because I'm an adult. I then watched a short, The Toy Story of Terror.
Is that the Halloween one?
I think so. Again, this was in my periphery, but like I paid. Also, most of what I'm forgetting is the fact that this was fucking 5 years ago. When Combat Carl's in a jam, he says to himself, Combat Carl never gives up. Combat Carl finds a way. Now say it. Combat Carl never gives up. Are you Combat Carl? Oh, Jesse never gives up. Jesse finds a way. It was cute. It was funny. Then I watched Megamind either for the first time or again. You and I saw it together. Mm-hmm. I chose Allo.
You were very enchanted with the way he said hello.
Yes, it was fun.
That's a really fun movie.
Yeah.
It's a really... Alright, actually, you know what? This is an excellent opportunity. This is how you make fun of superhero movies. You cynical motherfuckers. Could you please stop making juvenile cynicism wank fests for 2 goddamn minutes? This is how you make fun of a superhero movie. It's fun, it also works as a genuine superhero movie, it clearly loves the genre, and clearly isn't made with hatred in its heart, unlike, and I could spend 20 minutes listing things here.
I'll second that, but not as vociferously, because I'm feeling kind of low energy right now.
That's fine, it's just... God, I'm not, as it hasn't happened to me as recently as it has happened to you, but I am eternally weary of that.
I mean, it's cynical media in general. It doesn't have to be superhero shit. It's the Game of Thrones adage that in real life the bad guys win and my thing has to be gritty and real.
Epic Rap Battles of History has made the most succinct takedown of that whole point of view. It's a fucking J.R.R. Tolkien quote. Go watch The Thing. You'll see it. I don't want to do the whole spiel. Shall we move on?
We shall, swiftly and vociferously. All right, to you now, my friend. You watched this film with these young actors, and that lady does not want to be there.
I think she just doesn't... She's just not really happy to be up today. That seems like the wrong side of the bed look. The Hunger Games. Mockingjay Part 1. Figures. This is a movie that happened. I am pretty sure that one of the people in it is... fucking... I have forgotten his name because this movie had drained my ability to think. Because I can just see him in the background. Is that Matt Murdock's buddy from Daredevil in the background there?
I don't think so. Maybe?
Yeah, right? Right? And, like, I like that character. I've liked that character since before the Daredevil series, and now I can't remember his name because it's gone.
Yeah,
it'll pop into my head later. But this is a movie that happened. It wasn't bad. None of these movies are bad except for the last one, which is bad.
This is when they really started losing me. I just didn't care anymore. It's something I see with a lot of teenage media from that time frame. I just don't care about your characters. They're very bland.
They're very bland.
Isn't that man's name Bread?
No, that's the other guy.
Oh.
That's Gale.
I see.
He's a Hemsworth. One of the lesser Hemsworths.
Okay. I cannot communicate the fucking thought trail that my brain just went on with you saying that.
I will say, Jennifer Lawrence's outfit there is fire, though. That's a good outfit.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like the armor.
But yeah, no, the last one of these is bad. We'll get there eventually. I watched that too. But this one's fine. I don't remember anything about it. It just happened near me. Yeah. Am I still catching up?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in February.
The next movie I watched was The Interview from 2014. I watched this movie out of a desire not to let a dictator halfway across the world decide what movies I was allowed to watch. So I went out of my way to find and watch The Interview. The line, "Do not fight the tiger, you will lose," is funny. This movie is funny. That's it. Like, it's just a Seth Rogen comedy. I ain't sure why everybody was banging on bacon about this movie.
I didn't want to watch it in the first place.
It's just a Seth Rogen comedy. It's not even like one of the great ones. It's not even like the end of the world.
Right. I mean, that's basically why I
didn't
want to watch the movie, because I didn't want to. Like, have you ever just not wanted to put effort into doing something you knew you were going to walk away from going, that was fine?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's kind of how I felt about this. And then the hateful little tyrant halfway across the world was like, "Don't watch this movie or I kill you." And I went, well, I wasn't going to anyway, but I'm probably not going to now.
Whereas, because of who I was at the time, and still am a little, it would have been, I went, I don't really care about this movie. I'm probably not going to watch it. Don't watch this movie or I'll kill you. Well, I'm gonna watch it now! I'll watch it twice! I didn't.
As who I am now, I would have gone, well, now I kind of want to watch it just to spite you, but no, I don't. We're here in February. Same day, but we'll break to me because you've been going for a while. We both watched this.
Okay.
I believe. Did we not?
Yep.
Yes, we did. So you continue.
I watched 2 movies in the same day. Man, how... 2015 was a million years ago. I watched Die Hard from 1998. I know, not on Christmas. Weird. I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You have my name, but who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a child? Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks that he's John Wayne, Rambo, Marshall Dillon? I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually. I really like those sequin shirts. It was really, really hard not to do the German accent. Mm-hmm. But Alan Rickman's German accent is very specific, and I would have gotten it wrong. I can say, "Bring me my detonators," in that accent, and that's about it.
Oh, I clicked something poorly. So we move on to later that day, February 2nd. We watched a stand-up comedy special, Nick Offerman, American Ham. And we call back to the Lord of the Rings here. Elrond was chosen to lead the elves of Rivendell, not only despite his androgynous nature, but most likely because of the magical leadership inherent in a well-appointed bisexual elf wizard. That's the person you want picking shit out for your community. That's the guy you want in charge.
Oh. Whereas I picked... It's so sad that so much of our society says, "Man, thank God it's Friday. Thank God 5/7 of the days of my life are fucking over, because I hate 5/7 of my life. Now I'm going to spend 2/7 of my life getting drunk at the Olive Garden so I don't have to think about the upcoming 5/7. Thank God. I feel that, Nicholas. I no longer say thank God it's Friday, because I have a much better life than I did back when I chose this quote.
It's bullshit, and so is society.
Nick Offerman is not Ron Swanson.
No.
But he has big Ron Swanson energy.
He's a classy gent. All right. Ooh, Snapsky.
Oh, here we go.
We watched this shit together, my guy. I'm going to lead off on this one if it's cool with you.
Yeah, of course, sir. It is only your right.
2014's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, the Michael Bay one. Yes, I enjoy it. I believe we covered it on the podcast before.
Oh, yeah, I think we did that and the sequel.
I'm going out on my own. First chance I get. How we gonna finish our hip-hop Christmas album, bro? You the hype man.
Mine, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, same movie. I got a real nice song, it's all queued up. It's special, girl. Mikey is a treasure in this movie.
They all are. They really did the characterization well. you can go back and find our deeper thoughts on that film. But I enjoyed it.
It's fun.
We had the same last
Unclench.
picture we did. No. Key here, we did not have the same picture. Yours is zoomed in a bit. And grainier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you go first on this one?
Horns, 2013. How about you guys beat the shit out of each other, and the winner gets an exclusive interview with me?
My quote was... Do it, Eric. Beat him to death. That'll give you something to whack off to tonight. Only I'll be picturing both of you naked. Yeah, I like that. I like to think about you naked too, Sturts. I think yours flew into mine, actually.
I'm not sure. But, yeah, it's good.
This is that movie where Daniel Radcliffe is Satan, maybe?
He starts growing horns and developing Satan powers. That sure happens. They don't really elaborate on it more.
It's an interesting film. Like...
At one point, he gets a pitchfork.
That was unrelated.
Yes, but it did happen.
Also, he still speaks parcel tongue, so, you know.
That's
That's good. That's just a real-life ability Dan Radcliffe has.
That's why they put it in the books.
Yeah. Did you do that without me?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, maybe not. Hold on. You in March now. I in February still. I watched the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, excuse me, the second one, Secret of the Ooze. The quote I chose was, "Babies! They're babies! Oh!"
They are babies. Tokan Rays are great, but they are really a poor man's Bebop and Rocksteady.
They were actually only in there because Eastman and Laird didn't want to do Bebop and Rocksteady. Because they were more of a cartoon thing.
I don't care. They're great.
Well, sure, no, and I don't really, we eventually got a really great Bebop and Rocksteady, so who gives a fuck? We might not have gotten them if they were already portrayed in the original films, so.
That's true. And I like Tokan Rays.
Yeah, it provides an interesting challenge. And I watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I put some Windex on it.
I've actually seen that. I saw it before the big lists started. That's fine.
Yeah, it's cute.
People hate on that movie. I don't know why. It's fine.
It's a nice little feel-good movie. I mean, it's got some 2002 mentality to it, but what are you going to do? All right, we watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Again!
How can you not?
Well, now I'm standing. Happy? We're all standing now. Bunch of jackasses standing in a circle.
You keep watching this movie, you're going to run out of quotes.
Oh, we've already done the podcast, friend. We're already out of quotes. We're quoting ourselves from the earlier podcast.
Look at this thing. It thinks it's so cool. It's not cool to ask for help. Walk by yourself, you little gargoyle.
He's speaking about a baby.
Yeah, it's funny because babies are dumb. I watched Dead Snow Red vs. Dead. This was goofy. Please don't hurt me. I have 2 kittens. It was really fun. It was a fun zombie movie involving Nazis.
The guy in the purple looks like he's a graduate of the Monster Factory.
Yeah. And then we watched an Aziz Ansari special together. Live at Madison Square Garden, specifically.
From 2015. It was actually new, I think, when we watched it.
Yeah.
Chris, no! Proofread!
I don't remember the joke related to that, but that's good. I've seen dudes yell, "Take it off" in a strip club. She has a routine plan. She's trying to tease you. Oh, good stuff.
Oh, God, this fucking movie.
I'm in April, so you get some catch on.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so, 2014, one of the many Nicolas Cage, I need money to live, turns out that you need that, so he takes every job movies. Rage. Henna, huh? It washes off, right? Sort of. It'll wear off. This isn't a bad movie. This is a really fucking depressing movie. Don't watch it if you're not looking for a bad time. It's not a bad movie. It's just really fucking sad.
I think we've talked about this one privately before, and I agree. Yeah, now we're back on page together. Why don't you continue?
Number 13, Going Clear, Scientology in the Prison of Belief. My quote, what the fuck?
Mine was, the only madman is the one who doesn't think he's mad.
What an apt quote for Scientology.
Yeah.
That's, Welp, do we commit to getting goons into our home sometime soon or not?
I mean, I don't, it's America for now. We don't care for Scientology.
It is of the many, many wacky scams I've seen. It's not the wackiest, but it might be the scammiest.
Look, say what you will about religion in general.
Final Fantasy House was the wackiest.
But at least most of them have the decency to pretend like they're not a cult.
They're very adamant about that.
Scientology just tells you they're not a cult, while they put on their special cult robes and do their cult chanting to the blood sacrifice. Oh, Robot Husband. How's it going, my guy? I'm going to start this one off because I deserve to. Avengers Age of Ultron, which I believe came out that year, 2015.
Yeah, someone went to go see it in the theater.
My number 17 movie. I picked the lyrics to the Pinocchio song. I've got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. I had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. Which, if you haven't listened to the version of that song that they use in a lot of the trailers and shit, track that down. It is really good.
Was this the start of children's song sung in minor key for epic trailer?
No, that should have been going on for a while.
It's such an interesting phenomenon because it's so reliable. Like, if someone recorded with like a very like sort of lilty, wispy female vocalist and big like Nolan horn, I'm a Little Teapot, I would assume it was the next big blockbuster.
Fun fact, before what the current Colt Regan book I'm working on changed greatly, the opening chapter was going to be about Colt retelling a story about when he had to hunt down a woman who had like DID and was a werebear and menacingly sang the Teddy Bear's Picnic at him from the shadows just to see if I could pull it off.
In text?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. The teddy bears have their picnic.
Yeah.
Avengers Age of Ultron, mine was language.
It's good shit.
One of the best running bits in a movie kind of filled with running bits.
Yeah. Continuity. We love continuity, and these movies pay attention, so that's part of why we
really
like them.
do. It's good.
Let's see. I don't think I watched that.
You probably
May 24th.
Not your energy.
It didn't even give me a fucking day here.
Just sometime in May, this movie was watched.
I'll go next just to...
Yeah.
I watched The Blues Brothers with my mom. We're on a mission from God was the quote I chose because it's classic. Fantastic film. They re-released it in theaters for a special run. My mom and I went to see it, and like people were like singing along with the songs, and it was just like a really good energy to see the movie. Just fans, you know. So it was kind of fun. I would love to go see something like that again. It was a very special time.
And The Blues Brothers is an excellent movie, so that makes sense.
Fantastic.
I watched a comedy special, Lewis Black, Old Yeller, live at the Borgata, excuse me. I was then told by my friends that what would be really a great thing for me to do was to get my own personal Facebook page. These people are no longer my friends.
Borgate is the political scandal revolving around the Borg.
Resistance is futile.
Did you like this special?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Lewis Black special. It's all new material. It's fun. He's very old. He's very cranky, and that was 5 years ago. I assume he's much crankier.
Just like walk into a room with Lewis Black, and
it's just the pointy witch finger, and the brrr is constant.
We both watched Scream.
Scream. One of the many of Matthew Lillard's tour de force filmography.
I love how your picture is just an extreme close-up of Matthew Lillard.
You're goddamn right it is.
On this channel we stand. Your quote?
I'll be right back. A Matthew Lillard quote, no less.
My quote was, "You're absolutely right. It is not fair. Fairness would be to rip your insides out and hang you from a tree so we can expose you for the heartless, desensitized little shits that you are." I was an angrier person back then. My quote is true because we watched Mad Max Fury Road for the first time. Oh, what a day. What a lovely day.
This is a really good... All right, actually, you know what? I can explain how good this movie is pretty succinctly. First, my quote. Witness me. And I'll let you pick which one that is, but I know which one I was using. But I can summarize how good this movie is really succinctly. If basically every time someone asks me, hey, is there one movie you think that you've seen that I should watch? This is the first one I say. Full stop.
Yeah, it really transcends a lot of, like, genre definers.
Yeah, like, if you want to see a good action movie or a good post-apocalyptic movie or just a good movie about some concepts we don't talk about a lot on the Two Nerds podcast, this is a really great movie for it. And so I recommend it to a lot of people. It's really fucking good.
Beautiful cinematography as well.
It's also, it's just a beautiful movie.
Gorgeous.
That helps.
Mm-hmm.
What a contrast. I forgot the picture you chose.
It's bizarre that we watched this on the same day because I watched it while y'all were not here.
Oh, God.
Why don't you go first?
So, the 18th movie I watched in 2015 was The Babadook. The quote I chose was Ba-ba Dook Dook Dook. I just did it in the voice.
No, you did, but I didn't hear that. I heard yuck.
That's a good Bubba Yuck.
Oh, fuck.
That's what was in the basement, the Bubba Yuck.
Yeah, I guess.
So, this is a movie that everyone hyped to me for months before
Same.
I saw it. Months. It was, you gotta see the Babadook. Oh, it's so scary. Oh, man, the Babadook's so scary, and man, you won't be able to handle it. So many people said me this. So many people said me this, is what I said just
They
now.
said you to that, yes.
So here's the thing. I did a little backwards looking at every time after I watched the movie. This isn't a bad film. I need to make that clear. It's fine. But every single person who told me that has kids. That's really fucking important. Because this is a horror movie about the voice in your head that sometimes goes, just fucking snap their little neck. That's what this movie is about. And if you don't have kids, it's not gonna land. It's a fine movie. It's fun. It's got good visuals. The little kid does an excellent job of playing just the worst little fucking asshole in the universe, which really sells the movie. But that's what the movie's about, so if you don't have kids and you've never heard that voice, it's not gonna ring true. Whereas every parent who's watched this movie tells me it's terrifying. I think it's because all of them have heard the voice at one point or another.
I see a lot of people who don't have kids yet but want them also having a reaction like that to the movie. And to be fair, until, the end of the movie, the antagonist is very scary. A lot of the world building and story building... I should get my quote in here real quick. Well, that's the end of the internet. It's really thorough, and they do a great job of building horror and tension and uncomfortableness. Discomfort is the word I probably should have said.
You say me this.
I say you that indeed. I think the movie lost all of its momentum. I want to say 3/4 of the way through. It might have been 2/3. It's been 5 years, but it just became full of holes.
It's not a bad movie, but they tried too hard to tell an interesting metaphor and failed to tell an interesting story.
And they didn't commit to it just being a metaphor, because then at the end of the movie it wasn't a metaphor anymore and nothing made sense.
I don't think that's the case. I think that's just the metaphor continuing. But trust me, I understand.
There's enough moving parts of the continued metaphor, quote unquote.
Look, sometimes
make me ask questions.
We've all done a bad metaphor. We've all gone halfway through an entire paragraph and gone, I've completely lost control of this metaphor. I don't know where I am.
Sure,
anymore.
but I didn't spend tens of $1,000s making a movie out of it that everyone then went, yeah, great metaphor.
I'll tell you, man. Maybe other people get it in a way we don't.
Maybe. I have no desire to procreate, so that has, I'm sure, a large part to do with it. I understood it. I got it. Well,
yeah, it's not hard to get. No. It's just, it doesn't land. The horror doesn't land.
Yeah. Anyway. What do you think, my brother? Two-parter?
I think so.
Well, thank you all for joining us on this first half of going through 2015's movie homework. Sooner than later, these episodes will only be one episode instead of two. But for now, it's a great way to pad out our podcasts.
Or, bring you lots of content.
That's what I said.
Stop telling them. Anyway, everything's better when nerds talk about it.